Are you struggling with your splits? You're thinking like there is no way you can do it, even though you tried in the past or you've been working on it since forever, but it seems like it's not getting any better. In this video, I'm not gonna show you some magic tricks, but I'm gonna teach you a method that will help you achieve your splits. This kind of progression is something that most people are missing. Ta-da! Let me present you the yoga blocks. What? Yoga blocks? I used pillows. Oh, come on, it's the same. Yoga blocks, pillows, the concept is one. And this concept is relaxing on something. The hell I'm talking about? Let me show you. Now, let's take the seated position as an example, all right? I got a chair under my hips so I can relax my muscles fully. But what if I don't have it? Oh, well, I'm in a seated position, but my muscles are not relaxed anymore. Give me that again. So, as you can see, there is a huge difference. The position is the same, all right? But my muscles activation is completely different. When I sit down on something, I relax the whole muscles of my leg, and I'm in a seated position. If I take the chair out and try to stay in the exact same position, yeah, I'm in the exact same position, but my muscles are tensing. The concept in splits, it's exactly the same. A lot of people try to get into the splits without their hands or without something under their hips to relax on. And what's the result? The muscles here get tensed like crazy. So you gotta sustain the position. Obviously, you can build strength, you can build control, but that's not relaxing. The moment you put something under your hips, then you can relax into the position, allowing your muscles to relax progressively and to eventually get deeper into the position. This is kind of obvious, right? Still, a lot of people don't do that. Maybe they put their hands on the floor, but it's not the same. As you can see here, my muscles are still tensing a bit because they have to sustain the weight of my body. It's a completely different sensation. To make progress in your side split position, you want to do this, all right? So, guys, the side split is the most intense split. So it takes time and you gotta take your time, make progress gradually, all right? This is the first keyword, gradually. Now, yoga blocks vertical under your knees, slightly more toward the inside of your hips. As high as you need. As soon as you can touch them, all right, relax there. Makes sense? Just let your legs rest on the yoga blocks. Now, if you want, you can tilt your body forward a little bit in order to simplify the position. If you want to relax your entire trunk on something, put some yoga blocks under your sternum as well. This is gonna help you relax better. As you can see, I'm arching my back and I'm tilting my body forward. Now check the position of my feet. I do want to turn my feet up and slide out with my feet. This is gonna help me find the correct side split position. I'm also using a wall next to my glutes because I do want to have my legs, my feet and my hips on the same line. From here, legs are super straight, all right? The concept is that I do want to move the yoga blocks closer to the center of my hips, all right? Little by little, as you can see, I move a little. I do want to make it progressive, all right? Obviously now, fast forward, I'm gonna have both blocks under my hips. I can relax on both blocks now, vertical. What should you do now? Simple. Take the yoga blocks. Rather than vertically, you do want to turn them a little, but rather than keeping them under your hips, you're gonna put them again, but under your knee. Make sense? So, you widen the yoga blocks again and you restart with your progression, all right? This time, you're gonna get a little deeper into the side split. And fast forward again, under the hips, and now you know the trick. Rather than staying like this, yoga block like this, under the knee, under the hip, all right? Until you're gonna get really close to the floor. Throughout my stretching career, I've been using pillows a lot because, yeah, with the pillow, I can relax into the stretch, but I kind of not relaxing because the pillow is soft, all right? So it's allowing me to get deeper into the stretch while I'm also relaxing on something which is really soft. So it's gradually driving my hips, in this case, closer and closer to the floor. Therefore, in a side split as well as in a front split, you can put a pillow under your hips when you are really close to the floor to kind of bridge the gap between the last progression and the floor variation where you actually touch the floor with your hips. Remember that in a side split you can fold your trunk forward to simplify the position a little bit, or bring your shoulders up, tilt your body always a little forward, but bring your shoulders slightly up to intensify the stretch. And this is how you want to reach a side split using yoga blocks and a pillow. To make progress with the yoga blocks in a front split, you want to do this, all right? So you start as high as you want. You may want to use 3 yoga blocks, 4 yoga blocks, it doesn't matter, all right? But keep in mind this, you don't want to put the yoga blocks under your back leg. Your back leg has to be free to move, all right? Because you do want to move this back hip toward the floor. This is the most important leg in a front split, all right? So you want to be free over here, all right? To push it down. So the blocks go under your front hip instead, okay? Now, when you want to make progress, you obviously want to remove some yoga blocks and try to get deeper. If you can't touch the blocks under your hips, you can move them a little bit, just a little, toward your knee, maybe toward the middle of your leg instead. Once you get better and you can touch them gently, you move them back again under your hips. And you want to continue this kind of process until you're gonna be able to finally sit down on the floor with your hips. That means that both your front hip and your back hip, also this one, touch the floor. This is the final front split progression. So a little front split tip for you. Don't, when you want to make progress, don't sit back. Can you see how I'm leaning toward my left side? You don't want to do that. You do want to continuously press your back hip toward the floor. That means that you do want to lean toward your back leg instead. This is gonna be a little more intense, but it's gonna help you fix your front split technique and stretch the correct muscles, avoiding injuries. One last key detail for your front split progression, you do want to keep your shoulders up, all right? And that may be difficult if you're having something like 2 or 3 yoga blocks under your hips, you can't touch the floor properly with your hands. So you can use some yoga blocks under your hands to raise your trunk up and rest on something with your hands more comfortably here. All right, now you know the method, so the strategy you can use to get deeper into your splits. But how should you be working on them? Well, there is a protocol I can suggest you. You want to perform for each split position, side split and front split, 3 sets. Each set for 20 to 30 breaths. That means 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. First set, easy. So set a height under your hips that can help you stay comfortable in the stretch for the whole 25 to 30 breaths. Second set, medium. You want to intensify it a bit, all right? So that means that you may want to be a little heavier on the blocks, or you want to remove the block. Maybe you want to fill the gap between the progressions by moving the block a little bit, all right? And spend another 25 to 30 breaths here. The intensity now is going up, so you should feel that the stretch is a little painful, but not too much. Third and last set, there is just one rule. I want your best here, all right? So try to go all the way. The stretch gotta be a little painful, not too much obviously, all right? So from 1 to 10, you gotta feel the stretch between 8 and 9, all right? Try to stay there 25 to 30 breaths. If you need blocks, use blocks, obviously, but set the height that allows you to feel the stretch at that amount of intensity for our third and last set, where you want to do your best. These are some really nice guys, huh? So a lot of people ask me, how can I get better at splits? And I always start with this point. You do want to understand how to relax into your splits. In this video, I've just showed you what I did to achieve my splits. No magic tricks, nothing like that. I want to teach my body how to relax in a flexibility position, because that's why you can't get into the splits yet. Your body doesn't know how to get there, even though your muscles can stretch that far. In the future, they're gonna be able to do that. Your brain, your body in general, needs to understand how to get there, and the only way you got is to teach it how to do it. But you gotta relax into it. You gotta feel safe during your splits, all right? And this is the best way to do it, guys, all right? It's logical, all right? It makes sense. The moment you realize it's like, oh gosh, this is the right strategy. This is what I wanna do. Obviously, you want to push it further and further, trying to, teach your body how to relax on something, but in the long term, obviously, you do want to remove that something and get deeper and deeper until you're gonna be able to touch the floor with your hips, both in a front split and in a side split. If you have any questions or doubts for me, leave a comment down below. I'm gonna be really happy to have a chat with you. Also, if you like the video, obviously, leave that thumb up button. Last but not least, if you want to work on your splits, it's really important that you understand that the splits are not the only flexibility exercises you want to do, and you can find all the exercises you can do to reach your splits inside of my flexibility guy app, which is like the flexibility Netflix. You're gonna find all of the programs, workouts and tutorials to reach your splits, to increase your flexibility in general, to work on your handstands, and also to work on your body weight strength, all right? You can do that by following the link in the description down below. With that said, thank you so much for staying with me. Have a nice stretch those splits correctly for me now, all right? See you in the next video. Bye.
I traveled all the way to Japan in this place of silence and peace to find out the secrets of flexibility training. I'm in this temple right now because here is where I believe it's hidden, the secret I'm looking for. You gotta be somewhere around here. What? A book? Nani? Honwa? Secret desu ka? Amazon de kaimasu ka? Oh, so ka. Arigatou gozaimasu. Stretching Modern Flexibility Methods is the complete playbook to master your flexibility, and you can check it out on Amazon right now. Huh? It works! It works!